One of the main things I wanted to cover in regards to gang stalking is just how much bullshit we have to put up with. And I don't talk about this topic a whole lot because it's more interesting to show the crazy ass behavior of these thugs who attack us and follow us around and do all their kooky ass bullshit. So that's more interesting. That's what people generally want to see. They want proof that the operation is real, and they want to see these people do crazy shit and all that shit. So I understand that. That's why that's what I focus on. But the level of bullshit that I put up with. Now, first off, when it comes to the spiritual channel, I want to be incredibly careful with that channel, okay? Because it's a belief system, and I mean, you have people who have their reasons for believing that there is a God that is responsible for everything that exists, and you have these type of people, and I fall in the category of people who believe that there's this God, and he's responsible for existence. And then you have people who basically believe that the universe was created by random chance. So I didn't think that the random chance explained the creation of the universe, so I believed in God. So I wanted to put that out there, and and I do believe that God is not a bad God. He's a good God, like the God from the Bible. So that makes sense for me. It makes sense for me to believe that. But what I want to talk about is people who take that idea and weaponize it and do all these fucked up things with it. So I know that people are not completely good. Of course I understand that. But we're not really talking about people not being perfect or having their issues or their demons. We're not really talking about that. Gang stalking is a vast conspiracy, and that's a lot bigger than just some fucking guy dealing with some issues or something. It's a lot bigger than that. So when I deal with the gang stalkers, I always keep that in mind. It's not me being judgmental of them. They are doing these. They've literally stolen my entire fucking life from me. If you can't draw the line as somebody robbing you of your entire fucking life, where the hell do you fucking draw the line? Where the hell does the line get drawn if these people robbing me of my entire life and basically forcing me into some sort of unofficial slavery or some shit? You might as well say this is unofficial slavery. I mean, it's something like that. It's definitely in that category. It may not be slavery, but it's right on the fucking rim of it. I mean, it's kind of like dancing around that shit a little bit. I mean, considering the fact that we're lower than a second-class citizen. I mean, we're so low on the fucking totem pole. The discrimination, I was like, the blacks have there's no black in the United States of America who's dealt with this level of fucking discrimination. You gotta be fucking shitting me. If a black person came up to me and was like, I know your discrimination, I would think he'd have bumped his fucking head, dude. I was like, you need to fuck around and get checked out for a concussion or something. Your brain isn't working right. No black since fucking the slaves. Not even Jim Crow was this bad. Not even Jim Crow. I stand by that. Jim Crow wasn't close to being this fucked up. And the point is, all the people that you have faith in, like the conservatives and all them, they're part of this shit. I don't want people to forget that. That's why they never cover it, and of course they know about it. If they didn't know about it, I'd be more than happy to enlighten them. And trust me when I tell you, I could go on their Twitter, contact them, provide links, or find a way to get this information to them. I don't need to do that because they already know about it, but of course I could if I simply wanted to prove a point. They're not fighting the good fight. They're not fighting the good fight. They decide what the good fight is. They decide who deserves justice. So justice is basically whoever the fuck they think deserves it, and the people who don't get it are the people who they think don't deserve to get it. That's why it's important to them for us to be the bad guys, so they entrap us, they condition us, they get inside our head, program us to turn us into the bad guys. Once we're the bad guys, then they can say, hey, this was a bad guy, so therefore fuck him, and we can do whatever the fuck we want to this guy. He doesn't deserve shit. So the fact is, the Bible was designed for God to come down to man and tell man how it's supposed to be, because man can't agree on shit. Man can't agree on shit. So a conservative, or these conservatives, they enforce ideas that are not supported by the Bible, and they say that people deserve shit, and that's not in the Bible. So they invent their own rules, their own code, and then tell people how they're supposed to feel about it. If conservatives were all good, and if they were people of God, they would have to cover this. They would have to, because of the injustice of it. So the Bible basically says that God is not okay with this. The Bible says, direct quote from the Bible, whoever oppresses the poor rebukes their creator. I don't know what could possibly be more clear than that. We're poor, they oppress us, they have rebuked God. Do you think the conservatives care? Of course not. They make the rules. So they tell God, no, we don't want to do that. We want to oppress the poor, and we'll find a reason to oppress the poor. You see, that's why I warn people to not take these people too seriously. They create the reality that they want. They have control over the message. Conservatives don't care about what's in the Bible. They tell us who we're supposed to hate and who we're not supposed to hate. We get oppressed. They don't care we got oppressed. They don't care how God felt about it. They never care. They don't care about what God wants. It's never about God. God doesn't want them to be rich. They want to be rich, so they're rich. They don't care about that either. They do not care. They just pretend to, because it's about them having control over the message. So if I were to go out and say I wanted to promote Christianity, and I disregarded certain passages and I added to it, like I said, well, I personally think that this is evil, so I'm going to promote that and put this in the same boat as everything else. And it doesn't matter, all the other tenets of the Bible, because I personally feel that this is bad or this is evil, then I have control over the message now. Like I add things to the Bible that I want to add. Like I tell people what's right and wrong, and it doesn't have to be in the Bible. And I take things from it. So like if oppressing the poor was evil, and God directly says that oppressing the poor was evil, and they rejected God by doing that, well, I can still do it. I could just say, well, let's just never talk about that. So the point is that conservatives are all full, well, not all of them, but you see how full of shit some of them are? They're full of shit. That's why, nobody is going to actually come out and tell people this shit. That's why I said, when you know the Bible, when you know it, when you're educated, that's when you can sort of live that lifestyle, or you can be where you're meant to be. See, you can't go to a conservative who's rich, or any rich person, and trust them to give you the correct information. Rich people have agendas. They are the people who are part of this system, which is why they cherry pick the shit that they want us to believe. Just like our oppression is, of course it's wrong. I mean, so a conservative will say, well, obviously this is wrong, and I stand by that 100%. And some of us might agree. We might say you have a point. What about gang stalking? What about that? So then you come to him and you say, well, is it fair for people to oppress a person without due process? Even during the Egyptian times, there was some due process. Like you would have to say that if you're going to do something bad to a person, or you have to give them their day in court or some shit, whatever. Okay, can you do that? Well, apparently to the ones out here, yes. Yes, of course you can. Well, I mean, what if you didn't do anything wrong? They don't have anything then. They still want to oppress you, so they come up with other reasons why. Like, the point is that they control the message. That's why, and it's not just conservatives. You have liberals, you have everybody doing it. Everybody who tells us what's right and wrong, and they disregard bad things and don't really care that they've done that. And they add things. Like they say, well, you have to like a criminal simply because he's this or that. And he's this horrible person. Like, I'd have a person come to me and be like, the worst person you ever met in your life, a completely insufferable psycho, this terrible human being. And then I'll have them say, oh, well, you gotta like him. I was like, well, but I don't like him. Why do I have to? Like, shouldn't you be able to choose your friends? They don't want you to choose your friends. They want to choose your friends for you. They want to say who you're supposed to like. That's why they can do whatever they want. And all they're going to do is bullshit people, because people are fucking stupid, man. People are stupid. People are stupid. Like, either stupid or they just don't give a fuck. That's why, throughout all of this, I was basically trying to add some clarity to all this bullshit. Add some clarity so people can finally see straight. The point of the Bible is for God to tell man how it's supposed to be. So a conservative says that he hates this or that about you. Well, if he thinks this or that, I'd be like, well, I think you're this rotting, filthy, maggot-infested turd. So who's right? Who's right? Am I right or you right? We all have opinions. We have opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So a nasty, filthy, rotten conservative who gets rich off of people's misery, or whatever, all their bullshit, who sits back and gang stalks and oppress people, who cheats them and does all this fucked up shit. All of a sudden, that everything that person did is okay. Obviously, is okay in their mind. And we're looking at them like they're complete fucking werewolves, but they don't see themselves that way because they have an opinion. That's why I was like, God, the Bible, if you're a Christian, the Bible is your only moral code. You do not add to it. You don't need to do anything to it. You live by it. The conservatives do not believe that. They always add their little bullshit to it. Like they say, well, I don't like this. I was like, you know, there's so much about what you do that I don't like. And I could say that you deserve to burn in hell. I could say that. I could literally be sure that I feel like you deserve to burn in hell. And you're not going to agree with that. So who's right, who's wrong? So if you have your opinion, I say you're a monster. You deserve to burn in hell for your shit. You deserve to burn in hell for your shit. So what? So they're not going to believe it. And they're going to say I'm wrong. And I'm going to say they're wrong. And we're not going to agree. So the point is that that's why in the Bible it says he who is without sin can cast the first stone. People don't understand what the Bible, what Jesus was saying. That's why these people, these conservatives are so full of shit, dude. So many of them, and people listen to them though. Like these monsters out here, in their mind, they're good people, but they're not good people. See, they think they know best, and they don't know shit. Because it's all about what you're doing that they don't like, and it's never about what they do that you don't like. It's always one-sided. Like they can be fucked up, and in their mind, they're not fucked up, but you can't do shit, basically. Like. It's like that with the both sides, both the left and the right. That's why I said I don't take sides. The left and the right, both selfish assholes with their own stupid little agendas and shit. Like all these groups of people are full of shit with their agendas. They have agendas. Like everything they do is okay. Nothing that you do is okay simply because they don't like it. It's all about feelings. It's not about right and wrong. It's about feelings. If they felt that gang stalking was fun, regardless of how unethical it is, it was fun for them to do that, they would do it. They wouldn't give a fuck about right or wrong. They'd figure out a way to feel good about it, and they would fucking do it. Because you see, these people's morality is a joke. It's a joke. It's every man trying to claw his way to the top the best fucking way he can. People are only interested in getting what they want. That's it. What they want. If it's something they want, they figure out ways of getting it. They don't have a code. The conservatives don't have a code. The liberals don't have a code. They simply see life differently, and they're out to get the best deal in life that they possibly can, and they will bullshit their way in order to get it. So even this is outside of the legal system. It's not just outside of God's system. So these people have disobeyed the laws of both man and God. So this is illegal under the Constitution because we have constitutional rights. So not only have these people violated the laws of man, but they also violate the laws of God, and nobody sees anything wrong with that. These people violate the laws of both man and God, and they still don't see themselves as monsters. So that just shows you how full of shit they are. When it's something that they fucking want, they figure out ways of justifying getting it by any fucking means necessary. That's what the liberal and conservative parties are. Two groups of people with two different opinions and mindsets who are fighting and clawing their way to the top, getting what they want. That's why they fight these bitter fights when it comes to the presidency, when it comes to control over Congress, the Senate, and the House. They fight this bitter fight, and none of them are good people because they all have their demons. And we fall into the crossfire. Like our oppression, now they're fucking us over. Both sides, liberal and conservative, ass raping us our entire fucking lives, not feeling bad about it, not even caring. Not even caring. So much for their morality. So much for conservative morality. If conservatives had a general sense of morality that was based on God, there's no fucking way that this situation could even fucking exist. It couldn't. So how the hell can they justify it? They can't justify it. They don't even try to justify it at this point. There's nothing they can say. So the point is that these people are full of shit. That's why everybody has to come up with their own path. I do not take any group I don't take any of these groups seriously. If these people were righteous, every conservative would be covering gang stalking. All of them. If they're talking about fighting evil, they would be talking about this. And trust me, I would be more than happy to prove it by contacting them. And they're going to ignore that emails, and because they already know about the gang stalking, and they don't give a fuck about our suffering or oppression. They don't give a fuck about us. They don't give a fuck about anybody. Anyhow, with that said, let me go ahead and close.